Toronto. We're very, very fortunate. Yeah, gorgeous day. We have a special visitor today, Angela. Thank you for coming, Angela, and giving us your presentation. I will give it over now to Alan, and he will introduce her.
Hello, everyone. It's good to be here. Good to see you. Angela Newbery is the Business Development and Client Care Manager for Downsizing Diva and has been with Downsizing Diva for 3 years now. But she has been immersed in the world of downsizing and decluttering for much longer. Downsizing Diva has been around for 2 decades supporting clients to declutter and downsize so they can enjoy a home that makes them feel their best. Welcome, Angela, and it's great to see you here, and take it away.
Thank you, Alan. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me here today, and hope everyone's enjoying these slightly cooler temperatures in Toronto today. I actually felt I had a bit of a chill this morning because it was down to 15. I do have a presentation. I think Alan's going to share that. And we'll go through it. We have time for questions at the end, but if you've got a burning question, I don't mind, jump right in and ask away. So here I go. Simplify your home, simplify your life. And what we mean by that at Downsizing Diva is it's really important for all of us to, when we create a home that's clutter-free, it kind of clears our mind a little bit. Our homes really are our sanctuaries. They're the place where we go to rest and recharge. And so we want to make sure that it represents our best selves, it makes us feel our best, and that we really kind of let go of things that we don't really need or want anymore and keep what truly matters to us. Next, Alan's going to be doing the slide switchovers for me. A little bit about Downsizing Diva. It's not one person, it's actually a whole team of people. And we're all across the GTA, and we have partners that we work with all across Canada and in the US as well. You see our logo here with a woman with a purple feather boa. I'm not wearing mine today, but that's kind of our look. We like to say we're not the divas, but we like to make our clients feel like divas. Okay. The company was started about 2 decades ago with Gail Shields and Karen Shin. Karen Shin, I think, may have presented to your group before. She has since downsized herself, and she's living a happy life in retirement, following other creative pursuits. And Gail Shields stayed with the company, and she really started this when she started her own downsizing project with her husband, who didn't want to downsize, and realized that so many of us are sitting on lifetimes of memories and clutter, and how best can we let go of those items? And sometimes we need a little support when we do that. What we do, we are a full service move management company. So everything from packing, organizing floor plans, unpacking, managing the movers, we do all of that. But what we also really do is short bursts of coming into people's homes and helping them declutter their spaces. And sometimes that's a bedroom, sometimes that's a whole kitchen, but we also come in and do shorter bursts because we all need a little help sometimes. But today, I'm going to hopefully give you some tips so you can help yourselves. Next slide. Yes, help. I'm not sure if this is how you're feeling, but we often have clients that are feeling that they know they need to declutter, but it just feels so overwhelming. There's just too much to do. It's gotten a little out of hand, and they don't know where to begin. They don't know how to start the process. So this is the big secret. okay, that we tell everyone. Next slide is start small, but start now. So we like to tell everyone the easiest way to get yourself started is to tackle a small project in your home. And for some of us, it's, a junk drawer or a basket that, that's where we throw all our pens and batteries and all sorts of things. And then it starts to get overwhelmed and we can't find the things we actually need that are in the drawer. And so you can take 20 minutes out of your day, go through that, take out the pens that have run out of ink. They're not magically going to start working. The batteries that you've got in there that you weren't sure what to do with, put them aside and we'll talk about where they can go. And, pour yourself a coffee, pour yourself a glass of wine, whatever you like, and just tackle that project. But do it now, do it. And it builds momentum. And once you've done a smaller project, you can pat yourself on the back and you can tackle something else, but keep going with that momentum. The next slide, we always like to tell people don't save things for good. And I think we all do this. We all have, the special plates for when so-and-so comes over, or a tea set. Don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it. I don't want to use it. It's too good. And then we never use it. It just sits there and collects dust. So now's the time. You're living your perfect life. This is the moment. It doesn't get any better than this, I think. So start pulling those things out. Start treating yourself like the wonderful person you are, and use the good things. Use the good towels. Don't just save them for your guests. You deserve to use them. Light that candle that someone gave you. And there might be items, though, I will say, that you're holding on to because they're seasonal and you only pull that special platter out once a year. But if that's the platter you pull out every year, I mean, you're not saving it for good, you're saving it for that special moment. So we're not saying to get rid of that necessarily, but other things in your home, really take a look at it and if use it or start thinking about how you will donate it or let it go. Next slide. What have I got here? Oh, my favorite topic, your wardrobe. This is something, it's so hard for us to do, because often we'll hold on to clothing because it made us feel good at a certain point in time. But it's just not something we're wearing anymore. It doesn't fit our lives anymore. Our bodies change over time. It doesn't fit us anymore. And it's becoming something in our closet that is causing either a little bit of guilt. It's taking up space, and a cluttered closet really is a closet where everything's jam-packed, or drawers, right? And you're keeping all these things and you're tucking them in and they're getting tighter and tighter. And then every time you pull something out, you've got to iron it or steam it or take care of it. And then that's extra time that you're spending on something that you're not wearing all that often. Right now, we're kind of in the middle of summer, and I feel like it's been a bit of a weird summer where it's been hot, 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 or a little bit cooler. So, it's tricky. I do find our seasons, especially in Toronto, I feel like there's certain times of the year that we have our winter clothes and our spring clothes and our summer clothes all out at the same time because we just don't know what the temperature is going to be like. But you should really try to tackle your wardrobe at the beginning of each season and then at the end of each season. So, soon, sadly, we will be going into winter. And so when you start pulling out, looking at your coats, looking at your thicker sweaters, have a good hard look at it. Did you wear it last year at all? Was it something you used? Is it getting a little tattered? Can it be fixed? And if it can't be fixed, it's time to let that piece go. And when we and just set it aside. There's some items that you can donate no matter what the day, but there's some items, depending on where you want to donate, you do have to set them aside for when they're in season for someone else. Does anyone have any questions as I'm running along? I'm kind of a fast talker. Is everyone okay so far? Yep, I see thumbs up. Our next slide is be a generous giver. You know, I'm going to say there's a lot of students going into second year university and they're living in their first home, and those mugs that you're not really using anymore, they might need those, and they're definitely going to the thrift shops, secondhand stores to look for items to fill out their homes. So that's a great way to pass something on. You know somebody else is going to use it. Other little tips when we talk about being a generous giver is sometimes even with our own friends, look at things, you know, we'll often, you know, somebody will come over and we'll give them like a hostess gift, or we'll go somewhere. You know, if you have a nice mug and you know a friend might like it, some flowers in it, gift them that mug. You don't want to create clutter in their home, but at least it's not in your home anymore. Books are another thing that are, you know, it's tricky. I still like my paperback hardcover books. I still like to read that way. I'm not a digital reader. So, you know, having either a book club or a few friends where you talk about up and coming books that you want to read. And if one, you know, you all pick that one book and then you just share that book amongst each other. It's just little tips like that. Keep things moving along and out of your home, and can help other people as well. I'm talking super, super fast. Our next slide is find a place for everything. This is what our mom has told us, right? Make sure you have a place to put everything. And this is a big part of keeping clutter at bay in all of our homes, really, is ensuring that there is always space for everything. And it's not everything all the time. You don't always have to put everything away right away. That's just not practical. But knowing that there is space to put something is important. You know, we often, when we go into somebody's home to help them organize and declutter, we will look for items that they already have that we can use as storage, can provide dual purpose. You know, if there's some baskets that are typically rectangular or square that aren't really getting used, we'll try to repurpose as much as possible in someone's home, so we're not just getting rid of any stuff or, you know, bringing more in. Having said that, if you do need to bring some things in, if you do need to put things away seasonally that you are going to pull out another season, but you just don't need it right now, I always suggest clear bins. It's a lot easier. I mean, I could say use your bins, write down a list of everything that's in that bin, but I'm not sure that's always practical. Sometimes those sheets of paper fall away. So having a clear bin gives you a better sense of what's in there. And also, you know, no matter what you do, and you're either putting things away in a closet, sometimes critters, little ants and things get in there. So if you've got clear bins, it also gives you a chance to quickly look and make sure everything that's in that bin is intact. It's a little harder when if you're putting away some teacups and you're wrapping it in paper, but definitely with clothing, with shoes, certain non-breakables, you can use clear bins for. And I always prefer for myself not to get I mean, people tend to get big ones because they think, oh, it can fit so much. I tend to like to get smaller ones because then I can maneuver them around a little bit more. When I say find a place for everything, a lot of people always bring up, well, I've got a storage unit. Now, you do not. You know, once you start to declutter, it's tempting to think that I can just put some things in storage and I might use it later, or somebody I know might use it later. The trick there is that you have now created another space. You've forgotten what's in there, and you're paying for that space, and quite a bit. So always, you know, sometimes we need storage spaces, but always, when I say find a place for everything, it is not the storage locker. It's somewhere in your home currently. Next slide. Okay, so now you've determined what you no longer need, and what are you going to do with all this extra stuff? And there are options out there. Sell, donate, toss. And toss is, I mean, it's hard, but there are certain things that really are just do need to go into the garbage bin. But there's also city services that we can look at as well. I'll go to the next slide because I'll break these down. So when we talk about selling items, we often at Downsizing Diva, we'll use consignment stores. There's a couple in the city of Things Past around the block that are great, and you don't have to truck things up to those places. You can really take pictures of what you have, send them off, and they'll let you know whether they believe they can resell those items, and you'll build up a contract of, you know, if it sells within 30 days, you'll get 70% and they'll break it down for you. But it is a great, I think it's a great way for items that are in good condition for you to get some value back from them. Auction houses, we deal with A.H. Wilkins quite a bit. And if you feel like you are sitting on some pieces that are quite would be quite desirable right now, smaller pieces of artwork are what a lot of the auction houses are looking for. You can contact them as well. They'll set up a time to appraise your items and determine whether this is an option for you. Another way to sell things is, you know, there's Facebook Marketplace. I think anytime you go to online or any social media platforms, you just have to be a little bit wary of who is contacting you, because there are, I mean, it's just by very nature of it, there are scammers out there. I would also suggest that if somebody's contacted you, you're selling something that way, that you get that item out of your house for them to look at, or you have somebody with you. I'm going to tell you a little story here, which I love, and this is for somebody who's a little younger, who was trying to sell off one of his gaming things, gaming console. And he was contacted by somebody who said, oh, I'd be happy to pick it up. And the dad felt it just seemed a little sketchy. So the father said to him, why don't you suggest that he meet us in front of the police station? And if it's up and up, he's not going to mind. He's going to think it's a great idea. But if he's a scammer, he's not going to want to meet you there. And sure enough, he stopped contacting them. But so, you know, make sure if you're doing anything like that, you're in a safe space, or you have people with you that you can trust. Never do any of that alone, I think. Next slide. Donate. There are plenty of donation centers out there. if there's bigger items, like if you've got perhaps a sofa, any piece of furniture you would like to donate, Furniture Bank is an amazing organization. And what they'll do is you will pay for them to come pick up that item, but then that's a tax receipt for you. So if that's seen as, so you might have to pay, I think, $200 for them to pick up a sofa or some pieces of furniture, but then they'll give you receipt, a charitable receipt. So, you know, that's something you're doing good, you're passing something on, and you do get the benefit of a receipt for your income taxes. Habitat for Humanity is also a really, really great organization. And I will say that all the Habitat for Humanities, their restores operate separately. So if you contact one in your area and they say no, they're not accepting whatever particular item you're trying to send to them, look for another one nearby. And they might do that. And that's really, quite honestly, what we do. And what we found is that sometimes one of the stores, they're just simply too full, but another one is happy to take those items. So don't give up on just the one place. Church bazaars, community centers, they're always looking to, you know, they've got to raise funds for various things. So they love the idea of accepting items to resell. So, you know, if you keep an eye out on that, if there's anything like that going on in your neighborhood, there's this amazing garage sale that spans a few blocks that always happens around Pape and Cosburn, that area. And there's other areas that realtors will sponsor these big sort of garage sales. And they usually have people come from other neighborhoods as well, if you want to sort of set up a table. And that's another way of getting rid of some of your items and getting a little bit of money for it. Sometimes that's just a dinner, but it's still something. I know also schools will still do book fairs. So if you love your paperbacks, your hardcovers, but now it's time to get rid of, to let them go. I know a lot of the schools still will run a book fair, and the kids love actually buying a book. And okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, toss. So any of your hazardous waste does not go in your garbage bin. There are items that can be brought to a transfer station, but what I think is really great is, I don't know if you've heard of Toxic Taxi. Yeah, Alan, you're saying yes. It's a service, it's a Toronto service, and you dial 311, or you can go online as well and book it. And what they do is they'll pick up your hazardous waste along with garbage day, I believe. It just has to go at 7 a.m. in the morning, but they'll come pick that up. And that's an amazing service, because I really find it's so hard to get rid of those items that we tend to let them build up in our basements or in our garages or anywhere in our home, really. And we're always kind of scratching our heads, like, how do I get rid of this? What do I do? So Toxic Taxi is a great service. Larger items you can call a junk removal company, Got Junk. And I will say, Got Junk used to just take stuff and dump it, you know, break down the furniture. But now they are also trying to donate some of those items and help out that way. So it's quite a good service. With Downsizing Diva, we have our own junk removal company. But again, like I said earlier, when you're working with us, we do look for ways to donate through Furniture Bank, through Habitat for Humanity, and we also have some various organizations that we'll work with. There's, you know, because we help some of our clients move into retirement homes, we're also quite in touch with the organizations, the PSWs and nursing organizations, where they will have people coming into Canada from other countries, which is great because we need lots of nurses and lots of PSWs and lots of caregivers. And they'll also, you know, perhaps need some furniture just to get them going. And so we'll donate to those organizations and they'll help set up their nurses. So there's lots out there. It's just sort of uncovering it all. And I think we're at our next slide. Oh, look at that. Or you can hire me. You can hire a professional to come into your home and help you declutter. And we do offer, we call it a WOW, a work on whatever. It's about a 3-hour service where we can come in and help you declutter whatever space you need. Sometimes we do that. We also do this sometimes for people who are about to renovate their kitchens. So yeah, you know, that's when you really need someone to come in and help you get rid of all that stuff that's sitting at the back of your cupboard that you forgot you had. Okay, any questions for me?
Stop sharing.
Very quiet. Sue, no?
Get my thing.
Susan, do you have any questions?
Yeah, you mentioned about
No.
places to sell stuff. What about max sold?
Okay, that's a great question. Max sold is amazing, but there are some caveats with max sold. And you do have to have, they refer to them as up to like 70 lots of things to sell. So if you've only got 50 things that you want to sell in your home, it's still going to be too small for them to come in. They also can't do condo buildings or apartments. They can only really do houses. And the condo buildings and apartments, it's a security thing, right? You can't just have that many. The way Max Sold does it, once they've sold the items, people come to pick them up. And they found a lot of condo buildings, a lot of apartment buildings just don't want strangers in and out picking stuff up. It's just not safe for the rest of the people living in that building. But it can be a really great service. Yeah.
So you need 70 things to sell.
It's not even 70, it's like minimum 70 lots. So that would be, one lot would be considered a whole set of plates, cups, saucers, the serving platters, the silverware that goes with it.
Right, stuff that would all be put together and sold
Yeah.
like in one single, right, of course.
Yeah. Typically with a dining room table, they'll want the chairs with it. We've always tried to say, can we separate that out? Because I think often people just want the chairs, right? That's the thing that really wears out. But they'll take anything. The good thing is that anything can go in, pretty much anything can go into a Max Sold. So if you've got like a vacuum cleaner, even, that you're ready to sell, and they'll package that up with the brooms you already have. And if you've got some cleaning supplies or the filter bags, you still have that, they'll group that together. So it's, I mean, I've just told you to declutter, but but if there is anything you need, Max Sold, going online and checking out some of their auctions, it is a great way to get something else you might need. That's been gently used, right? We're all talking about a circular economy now, right? Not buying everything new, but let's all kind of share everything.
What about things like memorabilia? Do they sell things individually, or is
with Max Sold?
Yeah, like, so for instance, if I have a bunch of Blue Jays stuff, that you know, bobbleheads and things, and you know, I don't have a place for it, but I have it. And would they consider, I mean, I know you could put all of them together, but sometimes somebody wants just, the just one bobblehead or something. Any
Yeah,
thoughts?
they wouldn't do that, but there are a lot of there's actually a if you are looking to sell off some of your baseball cards and bobbleheads and any of that, there is a store around the Young and Lawrence area that buys memorabilia, sports memorabilia specifically. And
Okay.
it's kind of, it's REIKS. If you email me, I'll send you the link to them.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
John, did you have a question?
Yeah, what was that 70s thing again? I'm sorry. Oh, what
Oh, with if you're using a max sold auction,
I don't know what I don't understand what you said.
max
Hearing this
sold. So there's a company called Max Sold that
Mac Soul?
Max. Yeah. Sorry, maybe my voice is cutting out a
No,
little
no,
bit.
it's just my hearing aids.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes how do you
M A
spell it?
M A
MAC?
X
Oh,
M
MAS. Yeah.
MAX sold SOLD.
SOL.
I don't know, Alan, or maybe Bridget, if you want to put that in the chat for John.
Yeah, I just wrote Max sold. I
Yeah.
misspelled it the first time. My fingers were
Oh, believe me,
missed the right
I'm
key, and it
misspelling everything
I
right
do
it
that
was
now.
too.
Max sold, and I was like, no, that's not right. Anyways, Max sold, yeah. And um, let me see.
So John, what we were talking about with Max Sold is that you do need quite a bit of items to sell off. They're not just going to do one-offs or just
Right.
anything under 50. You do need quite a bit to sell off with them.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. I think we always have something to get rid of somehow.
We do. We all do. We
Yeah.
do.
I mean, you gotta be the best judge. If you have anything of value, if you want to, like, just go on, check it out, see what it's like on eBay and even in the other ones, if you know that you can get some value for it.
You know what, John, that's a really good point.
Because,
We talked about consignment stores,
yes,
and sometimes you can send them your photos, and sometimes they just don't have the space for your item.
yeah,
They've got too much of the same, so they're not going to accept it. So then you have to do a little bit of shopping around on your own.
yes,
Sometimes take a photograph and
yeah,
if you're out and about, if you're meeting anyone, if usually there used to be a lot more antique fairs,
yeah,
in the era where I feel like that was sort of late 90s, early 2000, we were all buying Canadiana type furniture, which, by the way, for a while there, nobody wanted, but now it might be coming back. So everything changes. It's just sometimes you got to wait it out. We had a
yeah,
real long time there where um, certain generations didn't want that type of furniture, but I'm hearing Gen Z is a little more interested in those things.
Yeah.
Whereas the millennials really liked anything mid-century modern, that era of Charles, it kind of that early 70s, things felt a little more modern, teak,
yeah.
streamlined. A
Some
lot of them,
people like the novelty of it. They love the novelty of
yeah.
that time period.
I think so too. I think so too. I think that's it. I think certain generations just, um, they're always thinking they're doing it differently than the one before them, right? So
Yeah,
the millennials love their minimalist furnitures and spaces. And now Gen Z is kind of looking for all those artifacts and that kind of heritage or homey type stuff. So it's interesting.
So brown furniture is coming back. Is that the?
No, no, brown furniture will never come in.
Oh,
No,
What?
but the more of that pine furniture.
yeah.
Um, but
So
it's you just It's really hard though. I would say things come back, but not always exactly the same way. And we really see that in clothing styles quite a bit. Even sometimes in more smaller furniture pieces, things will come back, but they just don't come back. They're finessed a little bit differently, or they're modernized a little bit.
Okay.
Yes, Susan, you had something?
Yeah. Some years ago, I went with a close friend, and we went to big antique shows.
Yes.
So I have some beautiful, very good and antique demi-tasse cups and saucers. Do you know where possibly I could get rid of them?
But why aren't you using them?
I have too many, and then
You just have too many.
I've got a lot of other fancy cup and saucers, from my mom, my aunt, but I use them when I have company.
Okay.
I get my good stuff out. So, but the little demi-tasse, I didn't know if you would know of anything anywhere.
You can try around the block. They're a consignment store.
Okay, I did that with some things from my parents' home.
And did they take most of it?
They took a beautiful set of my mom's good china,
Okay. Okay.
but it took quite a while, and I certainly didn't get what I figured I would out of it, and it was in pristine shape. Eh?
Okay. Yeah. Susan, can you
Or
send
maybe
me, sorry, if you can send me a picture of them,
yeah.
I'll have a better look. I'll share it with some of our team leaders if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
And they might have some ideas of who's purchasing that right now,
Yeah,
or who might
great.
be interested. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, no, my pleasure.
And also, Lord knows why I bought it. I guess I really liked it, and it is like it would set on a dresser. It's really old with two candlesticks, and smaller containers. I think it's French, with lids and a ring holder.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Okay, yeah, send me that and let me
Okay, thank
talk to
you.
our team leaders. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no.
So like what, sorry, can I ask, is there a set price for your 3-hour wow? Or does it depend on how much work is involved that you have to do for those 3 hours?
With our wow sessions, it's about $350 plus, and then I think GST is on top of that. We do have to, it is a service, so it has to be billed with GST. And that isn't that services we really will just come and work for 3 hours on a space in your home. If you're looking for more, like if you really want to get a better sense of if you've got a bigger declutter project and you want to get a better sense of how much that would cost, we do have an in-home consultation, and it's free. It's absolutely no obligation. We'll come in and provide a quote for you based on what you need. So and I do want to say it's no obligation, because a lot of times some services will come into your home and say the consultation's free, but somehow if you don't go with them, you still have to pay for their time. you don't have to do that for us.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone
I have a
else?
question. Yeah,
Oh,
I have
yeah.
I have when I moved last, I ended up taking a bunch of photographs and just like physical photographs back before we were doing digital and putting them in a box. Prior to this, my mother had the same kind of thing, but she was so diligent to actually put them in order and write on the back who they were, and then put them into um, little baggies and in boxes so that you could literally go through by the year and sort them and find things.
That's brilliant.
Ah,
That's great.
yeah,
There's not a lot of us are sitting on photos like that with that much detail.
yeah. And then I opened mine up and went, oops, I should have been doing the same. Any suggestions in terms of how to go about that or what to do with it or?
I know I've done that recently with some of my own. You really now you're going to have to go if this sounds a bit harsh, but if you look at a photo and you don't know anyone that's in that photo or don't remember when it was taken, you just got to toss that. Like that isn't a memory because nothing's standing out for you. And we've all done a lot of, oh, this is such a beautiful scene. I'm going to take this picture. You've traveled in that, and you just they bear no place. Like if it was a beautiful photograph, you would have framed it and put it up in your home, right? But try as you can as you go through your photos, and I know it's a bit laborious, but like try to put like who was in that photo, even if you can't remember the year it was taken. It's still really nice. Like look, having that sense of who was in that photo, and as much detail as possible is great. There are companies that will digitize your photos for you and organize them all. There's also, and I feel terrible I was thinking about this before the presentation and then it escaped me. So this is another one where you'll have to email me, but there's this app that's come out now where you can scan your pictures, and it's not just like taking a picture of a photo and putting it on your phone and then sending it off to your email and organizing it. It is a separate app. I haven't tested it out yet. I don't know how good it is. But it is apparently you just lay out your old photos, scan it with your camera, and it'll upload right away. And then you can categorize things.
Yeah. Cool.
So I might have it on my phone if you bear with me. I just haven't tried it yet.
Tried it yet because what I try to do now with the digital ones when I upload them to my computer, I then put them in folders and change the name of the folder as to what the category was and who was in the picture. So it's the kind of thing
Yeah.
that you'd love
Yeah.
to do that with the physical ones, but and I did a lot of photography. It was one of the things I started in high school right back with developing my own black and white pictures. So
Oh, wow. So you probably have some wonderful photos.
I have a lot of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. I had a scanner at one point, but the tech has changed since then. So
Yeah.
I feel so too. And I feel like the scanners, I tried that with the scanner as well, and I wouldn't get that crisp photo.
Yeah.
It just didn't come out as well. Again, sorry, Alan, email me and I will dig up the name of that app and you can give that a try.
Cool.
See what you think of it, and then write a review for me.
Okay.
I recommend if you're collecting photographs, get a hard drive, because photographs definitely eat up a lot of space in your computer or on your phone. And
Yeah,
that's what me and Diane are doing right now. We're putting everything into a big hard drive, and you're just going to label the hard drive. It's like a box,
yeah,
and put it aside, and that's your library right there.
yeah.
And
That's good too. You're
that's all
right.
your photographs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that way you're not, if anything were to happen on the internet, or say your computer got crashed or virus or anything like that, your photos are still saved. And, you know, and a lot of people I noticed when I was watching um, uh, the news coverage of all the fires, especially out in California,
Oh,
I
yeah.
noticed people were getting their most valuable items, but one of them was people were getting hard drives out of their their computers out of the house where the fires were to make
Yeah.
sure that all the memories are saved, at least so if you can't save the photo albums and the framed pictures, at least if they're on a hard drive, it's like the next best thing
Yeah.
to sort
And
of salvage your all your losses.
yeah, I remember that, John. I remember, it was John Mayer that posted a picture of at that time
Mm-hmm.
of of this is, and it was an envelope, like a thick envelope, but sort of this is what I took with me.
Yeah.
Like I knew these are all, and that's something along that lines. If you have your hard drive, if you have this box of, if something happens, this is
Mm-hmm.
everything I need to take with me. That's a great thing to have.
Yeah.
And
Or
to
even
also include, heaven forbid somebody else needs to access that in a future for you, passwords, right? The
yes.
passwords to
That's
your
true.
digital assets. So that can be managed
Mm.
because you don't want any of that stuff to live in forever when it doesn't need to. But that's a really, I think you're right there about the hard drive, especially for photos, because that can take up a lot of storage space on your computer.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Anything else? I could just hang out and chat all day.
Absolutely. Kind of what we do. But I don't know. Does anybody have anything else?
I would
Anything
just like to say that I've used Downsizing Diva, my brother and I, when my mother was moving from her condominium to her assisted living home.
Mhm.
And I would highly recommend your service. It was
Aw,
amazing.
thank
You
you.
did very well. And like you basically did everything and anything we asked. Like come in and sort out the stuff and tell my mother, suggest what my mother should take to a lot smaller place. Her condo was like 1,800 square feet, over 1,800 square feet, and then moving into like a 1 bedroom kind of unit, and just recommending like just taking stuff that would store like a bookcase, a small bookcase, and that just using the shelving for towels and sheets
Mhm.
because there's no space, no storage in a assisted living. You also took stuff and said, okay, this is antique. You'd send it that way. Garbage, you sent it that way. You color coded tape, masking tape, color coded. And if my brother and I wanted something, you would make arrangements for it to be shipped to our places. That it was fantastic. It's a fantastic service.
That's good.
Thank you, Janet. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
And
I
even like
appreciate
at once, and you made the moving company and arranged all that, and then at the other end, unpacked everything and put it where we wanted, or she wanted it, or we wanted it. That it's a very good service. I highly recommend it.
Thank you.
That's good.
We
Mm.
yeah, thank you. And how is your mom doing?
Oh, she's passed away.
She's passed. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's yeah, where we do as much as we can and do the heavy lifting on the emotional side
Mhm.
so that families can just really it's hard to say enjoy the time when somebody's moving into, assisted, but to make that easier for everyone involved, not harder, not more stressful, just to minimize all of that so the transition can be a lot smoother.
Mhm.
And that's very important. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something that's happening out here out west in Saskatchewan is that's popular is they're selling an item. I know one lady is downsizing in her house, and she's selling her items through Facebook, the marketplace or Facebook
Yeah.
auction.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Yeah, so that's a
And Amazon Marketplace too.
Too.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I do think that's what the point I made earlier, that when you're using Facebook Marketplace is never let anyone come into your home if you're not, if you're alone, and like, just be careful.
Yeah.
But it is really great. I've bought stuff off of Facebook Marketplace too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Great. Okay.
Okay, well, thank
think-
you very much, Angela. This has been fantastic again.
Thank
We've
you.
heard some great stories about Downsizing Diva, so we'll definitely recommend it. And again, thank you very much for all this.
Thank you. I hope everyone
you.
has a wonderful weekend. Hope it starts soon. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.